Hello guys, so here is a Robbins and Myers fan from, I would say, the 1930s, I think. Here is the information tag. This is a 100 to 120 volt model. It's rated for 0.66 amps, which is very efficient for these. Listing number is 1604A. Serial number appears to be M2493B. I don't know that it has something to do with the date or not. I got this at an antique store and paid a very steep price of $150 for it, but I was glad that I did pay that much for it because I really like this fan. It's pretty hard to find these nowadays. This is the second one that I bought. I have another one of these, but I didn't get really good gauge of the wiring because the wiring was mixed all over the place and I didn't know how to wire it. So I bought this one for that reason. And because I have a stupid thing with dual installs and stuff for my future. And I did also replace the wiring on this because the wiring that was on here originally was very unsafe and trash, let's say. The original, well, probably not original, but when I got this fan, the main cord that goes into the outlet was a double insulated 2-wire non-polarized cord. It's like an industrial grade cord, but it's only 2-wire and non-polarized. That one was bad, but I don't think it was the original. The original head wire was like around 3-wire because there's 2 windings in this fan because this uses a PSC motor. And also another thing I had to do to this fan is I had to replace the capacitor because the capacitor was spoiled. I used my multimeter and found out the capacitor is bad. So for those who don't know how to test the capacitor, I might even make a separate video for this, but what you do is you have the dial sitting here and you have to press the orange button and it says N and uppercase F, and that'll tell you the capacitor rating. So it was one of these old box capacitors, and those old metal capacitors will last a long time. However, I was kind of surprised that it did fail, but at the same time, these are definitely getting old. They're about 90 years old, so the capacitors are definitely going to start drifting after some time. So yeah, we're probably starting to get into that era in time. So because it's 2025 now, and I think this fan was made sometime in the 30s. So I just replaced this all with round 3-wire, round cloth wire, and I put a vintage style plug on it. This is a 3-wire plug, and it's probably not what I've originally had, but it's sort of fitting for the time period. So I just threw that plug on, and I'll plug it into the outlet, and I'll show you guys how beautiful it runs. Here's low. And this thing is very quiet. And it's drawing 0.41 amps. Here's medium. It's drawing 0.42 amps, so that's not a big increase in the power draw, but it is pulling a lot. It's definitely moving quite a bit of air for what it is. And now high. It is drawing 0.55 amps. So I'll show you guys proof of what the meter says. It's drawing 0.55, 0.56 amps. And it's rated for a 0.66, so that's a tenth of an amp below spec. But I mean, who cares? It runs beautifully with no problem. When this fan had the bad capacitor, it was running very, very, very slow, and it was drawing a lot more power than it was supposed to be. That's also a pretty good way to see if the capacitor is bad, is if the power consumption is above spec and the fan is spinning very slow. That's a pretty good indicator that the capacitor is bad. Also, the oscillator does work. I'll put that on for you guys. All right, well, I have to figure out how you oscillate it, but you get the idea. It does work. And now off. Looks like the bearings seem plenty happy. Well, there you have it, my 1930s Robinson Myers fan. Thank you. Have a nice day.